They say your life is a reflection of your thoughts. But what if most of those thoughts are invisible to you, buried deep beneath awareness, silently shaping your choices, your emotions, your destiny? Today, we're not just talking about the subconscious mind. We're learning how to control it, the Stoic way. Let me tell you a story. There was a man in ancient Rome named Gaius. From the outside, he was just another citizen in a city of thousands. But on the inside, he battled storms. Not with swords, but with thoughts. He'd wake up anxious without reason. He'd hesitate in conversation, doubting his worth. He'd feel sadness, triggered by memories he didn't even know he was carrying. His mind felt like a wild horse, unpredictable, unruly, untrained. Then, one day he heard a voice, a Stoic philosopher in the public square. Epictetus said something that shook him to his core. You are not disturbed by things, but by your judgment of things. It clicked. The problem wasn't the world. It wasn't other people. It wasn't fate. It was his mind, but not the part he could hear. It was the part that whispered, the part that never slept, the subconscious. And that day, Gaius began a journey to master the invisible. Modern science tells us that around 95% of our thoughts, decisions, and actions come from the subconscious. It's the silent operator, the background program, the unseen hand. But long before we had brain scans or psychology textbooks, the Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." He wasn't just talking about what we think when we're awake. He meant the thoughts that soak deep, the ones we rehearse, the ones we suppress, the ones we never question. Our subconscious is like a field. Whatever seeds you plant there grow, and over time, they grow into your identity. If you plant fear, you'll live in anxiety. If you plant resentment, you'll walk with bitterness. But if you plant virtue, you'll walk with strength. So how do we plant the right seeds? How do we rewire the part of us that we don't even see? Let's begin. Step 1. Awareness without judgment. The first step isn't control. It's awareness. The Stoics teach us not to rush into action, but to pause, to observe. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." But you can't become anything if you don't know what's already inside you. Imagine yourself as a guardian standing at the gates of your mind. Your only task is to observe what enters. You feel jealousy? Don't suppress it. Don't act on it. Just say, here it is. You feel fear? Don't chase it away. Don't feed it. Just notice it. Every emotional reaction is a message from the subconscious. But you can't read the message if you're too busy reacting. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And imagination is the subconscious at play. Once you shine the light of awareness, the shadows begin to lose their grip. Once you name the emotion, it loses its power. This is the first crack in the wall, the first shift in control. Step 2. Reprogram with repetition. The subconscious doesn't speak English. It speaks emotion, and it learns through repetition. Whatever you tell yourself again and again, especially when you feel deeply, becomes part of your internal script. That's why affirmations matter. Not cheesy slogans, but Stoic mantras. Not just words, but truths lived, spoken, and remembered. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't write it once. He wrote it dozens of times. Because repetition isn't weakness. It's mastery. Every day, you are rehearsing something. Fear or courage, doubt or discipline. The subconscious doesn't ask if it's true. It only asks, do you keep saying this to me? So say what matters. Not just once. Every single day. Step 3. Control the input. You are not just what you think. You're what you consume. The subconscious records everything. Every song, every headline, every conversation, every thought you dwell on before falling asleep. If you feed it noise, it becomes noisy. If you feed it drama, it becomes reactive. If you feed it wisdom, it becomes calm. The Stoics were extremely intentional about what they exposed their minds to. They read slowly. They spoke deliberately. They spent time in silence. Epictetus warned, If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because improvement requires isolation. It requires filtering the noise of the world to hear the truth of your own reason. So protect your subconscious, not like a paranoid guard, but like a wise gardener. Be mindful of what you plant, because the harvest is inevitable. Step 4. Visualize with purpose. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of misfortune. Before a journey, they would imagine everything that could go wrong, not to scare themselves, but to train their minds for hardship. Seneca wrote, "What is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect. The unexpected adds to the weight of a disaster." By visualizing calmly, the Stoics programmed their subconscious to stay rooted in reason, even when chaos arrived. Modern minds visualize success. Stoics visualize tests and train for them. Close your eyes. Imagine someone insulting you. Now imagine staying calm. Imagine losing something and accepting it with dignity. Imagine rejection and remaining whole. Do this enough times, and your subconscious learns. This is how we respond. You're not just imagining. You're rehearsing character, and when the moment comes, your mind won't betray you. Step 5. Align with virtue. Your subconscious wants safety. It reacts based on past pain. But virtue is stronger than instinct. Virtue is the compass. When your mind says, react with anger, ask, what does courage demand? When it says, run away, ask, what does discipline demand? When it says, prove them wrong, ask, what does wisdom demand? This is how you train the subconscious to follow virtue over emotion. It won't happen overnight, but every time you choose reason over reaction, you build a new default. You etch a new path, and slowly, the subconscious learns to walk it on its own. Gaius, the man from Rome, never became a philosopher, but he practiced philosophy. He became still. He became intentional. He stopped reacting to shadows and started responding with light. That's the goal, not to silence the subconscious, but to educate it, to make it a student of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and that includes the ones you don't even hear." So begin today. Observe, repeat, filter, visualize, align. You don't need to control the world. You just need to control the story your subconscious is telling about it. Because once the subconscious mind is mastered, peace is no longer temporary. It becomes your default. If this message helped you see your inner world more clearly, consider subscribing to Stoic Mindset. Here, we don't chase noise. We pursue clarity. Every week, we bring you ancient wisdom to strengthen the modern mind. Until next time, live not by emotion, but by reason.